This work comes from my Young Scientist internship program with Blue Marble Space, and I worked under the mentorship of Dr. Jen, where we designed the future human habitats on Moon and Mars. So basically, for this project, I decided to focus on one question, like if we are actually going to build a sustainable human settlement on Mars, so what role can AI play in helping people live and work there? So, and I approached that question from my AI engineering perspective, like combining habitat design and human factors and all that. So let's start with the next step. First, I would love to introduce myself. Myself, Hamna Qaseem. I am from Pakistan, and I am from my engineering background. I graduated in data science, and then I worked on an AI engineering, built some cool real world AI projects, and then I am working and exploring robotics, and also excited to work on the space technology and love to explore the space. So yeah, during the robotics, what I assume that the idea of trustworthy AI, something that has followed me throughout my journey. Like during YSP, I started asking, like, what happened when we take the problem all the way to Mars? So that question arises me. So here I would like to share my journey, like how from data science to AI engineering. Like while working with the data, I just started thinking, like after working on this data, how much we are sure on this prediction that like we are achieving. And then with the AI engineering, I learned that instead of AI saying I don't know, what if we get the answer in that way, the correct answer, not just the confidently the wrong answer. Then I started learning and exploring the robotics, and now exploring the Mars. Mars bring all of these problem together for me. Like there is no doubt the limited communication, limited resources there, and human have to make a decision far away from the earth. So for me, Mars really become an interesting place to ask. So like how do we build AI that people can truly trust when they can't simply call earth for the help? So then question arises, why Mars? And you would also curious, like why I just focusing on the Mars, why not somewhere else? So there are different reasons why I choose Mars, because I would highlight few of there. Like Mars gives us the opportunities, like different opportunities to develop technologies and systems for becoming a multiplanetary species. So Mars isn't just a destination, it's basically a very difficult system engineering platform, so that we have to focus on. So before while getting to Mars, the one thing that we have to focus on, and during my YSP project, like much more focused on the human side, because technical problem usually have the technical solution, no doubt. So peoples are there actually the problem, and where they can affect things like mood swings, and also the cognition, and the relationship between trust issues between the different connection with the human. So uh, if something goes wrong, we can't just say hello earth, I need help, because uh, right now we have the communication delay between earth and the Mars. And what if we wait for an immediate response? So we have to be able to operate autonomously. And then there is a crew cohesion there, that like suddenly the things that we face, the trust and the role clarity and the psychological safety. So these are the some of the issues that we have to focus on. Then comes the environment. Obviously the Mars environment is not safe. We have to face the radiation, the harmful radiation, as compared to the earth. So when we put all these problems together, we are not just designing a house, we are actually designing a system that not just has to protect people from the environment, but have to keep people alive. So here comes the engineering's approach. The problem. So this brings me the way I started looking at the habitat as an AI engineer. Like instead of seeing habitat as just the system or as just the house is I started is a living data stream, like thinking about we have the oxygen, we have the water there, we have like the food, the temperature, radiation, and the human activities. So all these systems generates data, no doubts. So the basic idea becomes the sensors detect and generates the data, then data comes to the AI, then perform the decision, and then comes to the action. So the in that way loops keep going, and that's where I think AI can become really interesting, because as a layer that helps human understand the system and to make better decision. So, uh, when I mapped the Mars challenges to AI and robotics, I found several areas where AI could actually become helpful. For example, we have the autonomous navigation, crew cognitive support, and the resource optimization, and obviously the scientific autonomy. Because instead of just relying on like every decision take from the Earth, we onboard AI could help and the prioritize samples, like detect anomalies and which observations are most scientifically valuable. So in that way, what I get during my this internship, 3 months of internship, I got a chance to explore different resources, to explore the different AI tools to generate images. And the tools and the images that I generate, it wasn't just really like let's make a cool Mars picture or let's make a cool this picture. It was more like for me that what should a future habitat look like when we actually consider the humans, the environment, the data, and AI systems together. So uh, then here is the pipeline like that I more focused on generate images, explore different tools like Leonardo AI, Gemini, Google Flow, and ChatGPT, and then from that generated images I convert that images into videos and edit the text and narrate that. So I would love to share my short clip that I generated with the help of AI. uh,
Every journey begins with a departure. Today, Earth is behind us, and Mars is ahead. As the spacecraft leaves Earth, the familiar blue world slowly disappears. Ahead is a vast journey through deep space. For months, the crew travels along a carefully calculated path around the sun, carrying everything they need to survive. Then, after months of darkness, Mars finally appears on the horizon. The destination is no longer a dream. It is real. The spacecraft enters Mars' thin atmosphere. Heat builds, the surface approaches, and every second matters. Then comes the moment they have waited for. The engines slow the descent, and humanity touches another world.
Welcome to Sol Zero One. The journey was long, but we finally made it. Behind me are the main habitats and our greenhouse. I can't wait to show you around.
Humanity arrives on Mars. We begin to expand. Autonomous robots build vast infrastructure. They prepare for our arrival.
Nothing can be wasted here. Water, air, energy, and food must be carefully recycled and managed.
Today I am visiting our new health center. Let's check out the low-gravity facilities. Wow, it looks absolutely incredible in here.
Assessment area. Follow me for your baseline scan.
We assess, analyze, and adapt for lifelong resilience.
These are your long-term trends. We'll tailor resistance levels to restore load-bearing capacity. This plan focuses on gentle strength and balance exercises tailored to your bone size and will they reduce my fall risk?
Later, people walk through greenhouses, meet in shared spaces, work, learn, and build families. Perhaps the greatest achievement will not be reaching Mars. It will be turning another world into a place we can call home.
Thank you for exploring the red planet with me.
then this is where the project I could actually start building. I called it Aura. Aura is basically augmented understanding research assistant. The idea is really simple because we are just giving the questions to that, and Aura retrieve relevant resources and responding based on the resources that we provided. And as I shared earlier, AI can sound confident even when it's wrong. So rather than just asking people to blind trust on the AI, I wanted the system to make the evidence based. So this is just the prototype. I still need to more research on that, need to do more work on that. So I just wanted to share like these are the snapshot like, from the system that I built. Here is the main screen, the console, and the ask a question, and it is just sharing the resources. And then like there are four things like I wanted to keep people away from this work. Like for Mars, this is an incredible difficult target, no doubt, but this exactly we need to start thinking about these systems now. Second, I think the hardest engineering problem might not be always be hardware. It might be the human behavior and also the human AI teamwork. Third is the AI engineers can actually contribute to the space missions. And fourth is the aura that is still in the under development. And yeah, and I want to end with something that really summarize like how I now think about this problem. On Earth, if something goes wrong, we do research or we ask from an expert for the help. Like on Mars, this is something difficult, and like intelligence isn't just going to be useful, it becomes infrastructure. So these are the different references that I mentioned here. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. And I would love to hear any feedback and the question.